Hey y'all, Brandon Rinas here. I've got some news. My prediction, Labor Day weekend on Monday. Donald Trump is going to win this election in a landslide. All right, so let's get into the details. I'll actually explain what I'm saying. And by the way, this is all coming from somebody who probably will not be voting for Donald Trump. So to give you an idea of how I try to separate myself and be independent and not pick a side, every day for the last 2 months, I have waved a sign on the side of the street. For the first week and a half, it said Hillary Clinton for prison on one side, Donald Trump for insane asylum on the other. For that week and a half, I got flipped off 71 times by Hillary supporters, called every single possible name in the book. And by the Donald Trump supporters, never a thing. I mean, I had a couple people yell out a couple things, but nothing crude, no N-words, no F-words, nothing. So from that point on, I went all out Hillary, anti-Hillary type stuff, just because that's where I was getting my reactions from. It's interesting considering it's the Donald Trump people that are supposed to be the hate-filled people. But hey, we'll go from there. So now we got to digress and actually get into why is it that I believe Donald Trump is going to win in a landslide. Now, before we get going into the details, let's go into the couple caveats here. If Gary Johnson joins the elections or the debates, that could be an issue for Donald Trump. Sorry, brain farted there for a second. So I throw in that caveat. Also, if this election is not rigged, which is a huge caveat, I do not trust Hillary Clinton as far as I can throw her. That is a huge caveat. The other third thing that I'll throw in is Donald Trump having something absolutely astronomical coming out about him. And I don't know what could come out about him that would be so astronomical to blow his campaign up. I mean, everybody's already thrown out every race card possible, everything else. So I don't consider him. I don't see anything happening, but just in case, he launches a nuke or something, then I could see something happening. But other than that, I predict a Donald Trump win by a landslide, and here is the reasons why. So let's go into online performances. If you look at Donald Trump's page, he has twice the followers of Hillary Clinton. That's okay, that doesn't really mean that much. Now, if you go to Hillary Clinton's page, and I highly recommend this, especially if you're just looking for some humor and some entertainment, no matter which side of the aisle you're from, you should be able to laugh at this. When she makes a post, within an hour, at least half of the comments that have the most likes and comments on them are negative anti-Hillary posts. So she has half the followers, and out of those followers, the most active people on her page are anti-Hillary people. Whatever that means. That is how bad of a grassroots movement she has. It's embarrassing. Like, it seriously makes me laugh every single day I go onto her page. Oftentimes I'm one that makes comments on it. I made an anti-Hillary comment the other day pointing out what a complete flawed person she is, which I do on Donald Trump's page all the time also. I had 1,400 likes in less than 24 hours. 1,400 likes on the opponent's page. Think about that. Anyway, I highly recommend going to the page yourself so that way you can see this for yourself. Now, let's also look at live things. You can now do live video streaming, which I think is a beautiful thing, and I think it's truly going to change how elections work. A live video stream. Hillary Clinton, on a live video stream, she has at the very, 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 very most half the viewers of Donald Trump. So when Donald Trump goes up to speak, at the very least, he has double what Hillary Clinton has. I would say it's far more accurate to say he has 3 times more than her, but I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. So again, from a grassroots perspective, people actually going out of their way to educate themselves or learn about a candidate or hear what they're saying, Donald Trump has the support. So then we can look at rallies. Donald Trump the other day had a rally here in Everett, Washington. Now, I live in Burlington, Washington, and I decided to go check this place out. So I go and check out the rally. He had people lined up, double file. You started at where the convention center was, and you had to go 10 blocks away and then come all the way back to the convention center in order to get into the place. They set a new record for attendance for the convention where it was held at. And they had, I don't know, I think I heard somewhere between, some reports were 1,000 up to 8,000 people that couldn't make it in. While I was there, I can say it was way, way, way more than 1,000 people that couldn't make it in. I didn't try to make it in because I was busy trying to have fun with the anti-Trump crowd. But I can tell you that the line was so far that I could see 5 blocks of people, and it was all the way past as far as my eye could see. That's how long the line was. And that line was there all the way until the convention ended. And they couldn't hear a thing. We couldn't hear a thing standing outside the place. I also was at the anti-Trump rally, which was right there at that same convention, and they had a whopping maybe 200, at the very, very most 300 people that showed up as protesters. And again, of course, there were some negative people there at the Trump rally, but overall, the Hillary supporters were by far the most negative, crude, racist people you've ever came across, which of course goes against the narrative. So you wonder, where is it that Hillary Clinton is going to get all of her supporters? Now, we understand she's got millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from Wall Street and the big banks, and she can buy a lot of people's votes from those things. But she has no grassroots. Look at her rallies. When she has a rally, it's what, 300 people? Woo-hoo! Shoot. She has more Hillary people at protests for Donald Trump rallies than she has at her own rallies. Also, we can look at the Bernie crowd. So again, I was at the rally for Donald Trump. There were more Bernie supporters there that were for Donald Trump than there were for Hillary Clinton. Also, I tried talking with all these anti-Donald Trump people. Oh yeah, Donald Trump's such a horrible person. You know, we're here waving our anti-Trump signs. We don't like Donald Trump. I couldn't find one person, not one, that was like, yeah, man, we got to vote for Hillary Clinton. In fact, the only person I could find was a person that was like, yeah, well, we don't want to talk about it. That was the only true so-called Hillary Clinton supporter. The rest of them all just hated Donald Trump, and they were there to protest Donald Trump. You would try to get them to say, hey, are you saying I should support Hillary Clinton? Not one person said, oh, yeah, you should support her. There's people that would say, yeah, I'm going to vote for her because she's the lesser of two evils, but not one person was actually supporting her. Then we can fast forward to today. Today, Hillary Clinton did her first rally in, what, a week or two? It went over really well. 20 minutes of speaking, 7 minutes of coughing. So technically, what was it, a 13-minute speech? If you think I'm making this up, go watch it. Literally, the first 5 minutes of it is all coughing. Excuse me, folks, let me grab a drink. Cough medicine. Then, yeah, after everything's all honky-dory, she does an interview for the first time in 275 days, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's going to be considered her first interview with the press. First question. She tries answering it, starts a coughing fit, has to end it. So this is the lady that can't come across as healthy, can't come across on any of the issues, has an incredible hate crowd that follows her. She has no grassroots support, and she's supposed to crush Donald Trump? Sorry, I don't see where it's happening. And this is coming from someone that probably won't even vote for Donald Trump. I'm just saying this as a real American citizen that's telling you the truth from a perspective of, hey, I pay attention to both sides of the issues. I have both Republicans and Democrats that dislike me with a passion. But I'm telling you the reality of this. It's pretty much all I got, guys. If you want more videos like this, just people speaking from the heart, me actually telling you what I think, what I feel, what I see, people that are actually out there on the streets trying different things. Sometimes they're going to be crappy quality like this as I walk around. Sometimes I'm sitting down. There's never a bunch of notes. There's never a bunch of, teleprompters. No, this is the reality of it. You're going to get a real person giving you real opinions, someone that actually comes across as a human. If you want more views from these perspectives, hit subscribe, hit the like button. My prediction, Donald Trump wins in a landslide. That's all for now, guys. Peace out.